Hi, this is Brian from Provision Studios, and today I'm making a video on setting up the Soundcraft Signature Series console over various DAWs. I got an email requesting me to show how to set up the Soundcraft to work in one DAW, and then the person that sent me the email also said, I'm also thinking about jumping to this second DAW. So if you could give me any tips and advice on if I should make the jump or what have you, he'd appreciate it. So what I'm going to do today is I get a lot of comments, requests, and emails, and even phone calls from you guys out there wanting to know about the Signature console, how to set it up and get it working in DAWs that I don't usually work in. So I'm going to cover three today. I'm going to use GarageBand and Ableton Live, and it's actually Ableton Live Lite, which is their free version. And actually, Ableton Live Lite comes with the Soundcraft Signature Series console. When you purchase it, you get a licensing key for that software when you buy the console. Obviously, GarageBand comes free with an Apple Macintosh computer. So again, so we've got two free DAWs that I'm going to show you how to connect to the console. And then the third one is going to be Logic Pro, which is not free, and I have showed it in the past with this console, but I'm showing it to sort of branch off of GarageBand to show the difference between the two and their functionality with this console, because there is a difference in how you have to route the console to work with GarageBand. Anyway, let's jump right in so we can maybe help you guys save you some time looking on the internet and troubleshooting when I can give you all the answers you need right here. All right, here we are. We're getting ready to dive in to our DAW. We are going to start with GarageBand. The question was, I like to use GarageBand. It's my DAW of choice, but I can't get audio playback through the Soundcraft console. All right. The reason for that is there is no way to dig into the I/O menus in GarageBand like there is in Logic, and I'm going to show you what I mean by that right now. If you go to your preferences window, and normally you start out on the general tab. You click over on the audio mini section and your output device. This is where you select your audio device. So chances are when you first open up, it's going to be on something like this, system setting or built-in output. It all depends on how you are pre-configured. Anyway, this is where you would select your Soundcraft. There are several other settings here that you can go to that will allow you to change recording settings, where how your loops are displayed, so on and so forth. Anyway, I'm going to jump over to Logic to show you Logic's preferences window. All right, so in Logic, you've got your output device selected. Let's say it is, again, the Soundcraft. When you go over to I/O assignments, this is the key for Logic. This is where you select your outputs. So for me, my main output on my board is output 2122. GarageBand does not have this feature, but I'll show you the workaround. So let's close that. All right, back to GarageBand. All right, so in GarageBand, in order to get playback through the console and into your studio monitors or headphones, it defaults to output 1 and 2, which is channels 1 and 2. You must select USB return buttons at the top of your channel strip. You have to push them down, make sure they're depressed. That will route the audio from the GarageBand back to the console's channels 1 and 2. And then from there, you have several options depending on how you are setting up your studio. You can use all your auxiliary outs to route the audio from channels 1 and 2. You can select the master out to route the audio to from 1 and 2. You can select your groups. You got 1 and 2 in groups 3 and 4, and then from there you can route those to the master. So there's this board has several ways that you can route your audio to get it to where you need it to go. But you have to use the USB return feature on channels 1 and 2 if you're using GarageBand. So there's the answer to question number 1. How do I use GarageBand? All right, so if I do not have USB 1 and 2 depressed, I just pressed it to deselect USB return on channels 1 and 2, and this is what happens. You can see our meter is moving, but we are not hearing any audio playback. That is because the board is not in USB return mode. The minute I press the 2 buttons, there's our audio. All right, so that's GarageBand. Now, the reason why I use Logic as an example is because I wanted to show the difference between the two. So again, I will bring up my preferences and the I/O assignments. So I've got output 2122 selected. I am deselecting, I just depressed USB return 1 and 2 on channels 1 and 2. And I have my channel 2122, or output 2122, is selected. I have USB return depressed on it. I have master button depressed on it, and I have my level up at about 0. There we go. If I depress USB return, the audio stops. This is on 2122. So the key is always to have your USB return button pressed down. Now I just depressed my master button on channel 2122. Again, that breaks the output chain. Master depressed. Now it's depressed. Now I can also select a group. I'm going to select group 1 and 2. I'm going to now select groups 3, 4. And master again. So you can see there's, and you got built-in mute. So I just hit the mute button on channel 2122. That mutes the signal. So you've got built-in mutes if you're trying to talk to a client or make a video. All right. So anyway, again, I'm trying to show you that there are multiple ways to route through the Signature console. There is no one way that you have to work, which is kind of what we want in the studio anyway. We want our gear to be customizable, or at least flexible to where we can route it the way we need to depending on the session circumstances. All right. Finally, Ableton Live was brought up in the email as a potential go-to, or I would like to eventually use Ableton Live, was the way it was termed. So Ableton Live is a little different, and I'm going to show you guys how you would get playback through the Signature console in Ableton Live. I am not an Ableton Live user. I took a couple minutes prior to making this video to familiarize myself with the layout, just because I didn't want to give incorrect information, or not be able to get you guys results that would work for you in your studio. So first thing is, if you click on Options or View, if you click on View, fourth from the top is Help View. If you do not have it selected, this is how your screen will look. If you go back and go View, Help View, this comes up. And obviously this will be very helpful if you are new to Ableton Live, like I am. So it gives you step-by-step walkthroughs on how to do certain things, creating beats, recording audio. It actually has a full tour, audio I/O, which is what we'll be showing today. You can select on it, and it's going to give you a step-by-step process. And it basically just gives you the way that you would set up your audio based on the audio device that your system may have. So basically you go to the Live button, or the Live menu, and you select Preferences. It's probably going to be under Look and Feel, but we want to go down one to Audio. So when we get to Audio, the driver type is Core Audio. That's the only selection you're going to have, so you select it. Your audio input device obviously is going to be the Soundcraft. Your output device, again, is going to be the Soundcraft. Channel configuration. In Ableton Live Lite, you are limited to 4 channels, so you really can't use the Signature 22 or 12 or 16 consoles to their full capabilities with the Ableton Live Lite versions, because you can't use all of the inputs. But anyway, you would just select here, like so, all of the inputs you want to be able to have enabled. So you would OK it. Then your output configuration, you want to select mono 21 and 22, and then stereo 21, 22. Chances are, when you first open it up, mono 1 and 2 and 1, 2 are going to, and stereo 1, 2 are going to be what is selected. You just want to make sure that you've got 21, 22 enabled. All right. And then there's different sample rates. When you have another device selected, this is going to be different. On the Soundcraft Signature Series consoles, you could only record in 44.1 and 48K sample rates. That's as high as it can go. The buffer size. When you are recording, you want to start at 128, and then when you are mixing, you want to go to 1024. In Ableton Live, this goes to 2024, so that is DAW dependent. In Pro Tools, it only goes to 1024 samples. So depending on the DAW, the buffer size will change. All right. So then you would click OK. All right, so basically what you've got now is you have told Ableton Live that you want to use your Soundcraft as your input and output device, and you are enabling output 2122 to be your main out. But still, we need to route our tracks accordingly. So in the sample session, you want to drop down each track by selecting these triangle drop downs. All right. So you can see here master is selected, that is going to give you this. No audio. What you need to do is you need to select external out. And then at that point, that allows you to get what you selected in the audio preferences menu. So again, next one, master, external out. You see it then automatically goes to 2122. So shaker, external out, 2122. Bass, same thing, external out. External out for chords. E-piano, external out. Swell, external out. That allows you to get so there you go. There are, again, limitations to Ableton Live Lite, the Lite version of the program, in that it only allows you to use 4 inputs. Now, that may not be a problem in most cases with users of Ableton Lite because it's more of a MIDI-based program. You probably only really need 2 for your MIDI keyboard or your drum sample like some of the drum pads that are out there. If you're having the Soundcraft console, you've gone out and you bought the 12, the 16, or the 20, the 22 multi-track versions, and you've got a DAW that limits you to 4 inputs, you've wasted not a lot of money because these are very inexpensive consoles, but you're using a quarter of the capabilities of your console. So at that point, you might want to look at either into another DAW or getting the full version of Ableton Live, which when you get the Ableton Live Lite download and you register it with the registration key, you're supposed to get a discount. I didn't look to see what the discount was, but it says when you download it that by registering the software, you become eligible for a discount over the full version. So that might be an option. Either way, understand that no 2 DAWs generally allow for the same type of routing. You have to dig deep into the software in some occasions, like with the Ableton Live. It took me about 5 minutes to figure out how to do the external out by using these drop downs here. I was like, well, where's it at? Where's it at? You know, so and again, they were all selected with master, so I assumed that that would allow me to select whatever my master output was, but it was not. I had to go in, and by just dumb luck, I hit external out and I saw 2122, and I was like, oh, there it is. I'm ready to make a video. So, all right, if you guys have anything more, just let me know. See you in the next video. All right, so there you have it. I've covered all 3 DAWs, how you would set them up and get audio playback through the console, and the differences between all 3. Obviously, any DAW you have is going to require a different setup procedure because they route audio differently through their internal I/O. And in a console like this, a hybrid console, you have to be aware that there are certain configurations that are not going to work just by plugging it in and opening a DAW. There are certain routing avenues you're going to have to go down, and understanding how the console works, understanding how your computer works, and having those two working together, marrying the two, is the key to all of this. And if you have problems, chances are there is a configuration that you can create inside of your DAW that will allow it to talk or transfer audio back and forth on this console because of its various routing methods that it does have. All right? If you have any questions, please email me, bbuck822@gmail.com. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. You can go to my website, look over it, drop me a message there under the contact tab. That is www.provisionstudios.com, and that's PROVIZION studios.com. You can always leave a comment in the video section or any of my videos, or directly on my YouTube channel, and I'll get back to you guys as soon as I can. Thank you very much, and hope you have a great day. Bye bye now.